G'day, Big V listeners. We are with our VYC women here today. We're going to go through our ladders for both Terrell and Watson. I've got Mark to my left here. We're going to go back and forth. Now, I'm going to kick it off first. We're going to start in Terrell because Bendigo are sitting nicely on top with that 9-2 record, a 6-game winning streak at the moment. They're a very, very well-drilled team. Full strength, they are extremely tough to beat. Extremely tough to beat. They have multiple scorers. They can play really well out of pick and roll. They can throw it in a post. They can penetrate, kick out, and they have great shooters spreading the floor. This is a tough team when they are at full strength.
Yeah, and in second place, we've got Keilor sitting with a 9-2 record. The 2022 champs are starting to get rolling now. They've won 4 of their last 5 games, and they've got plenty of young talent running around. One thing to notice with this team is they shoot the ball extremely well. They you can't give them an open one because they will knock it down. I also like how they've got no real dominant player, just a really good team style of basketball, which is really hard to defend.
Yeah, absolutely. Third, we have Melbourne sitting with a 9-3 record, winning 4 of their last 5. Again, another very good offensive-driven team. They're 6-0 at home, so they've done a very good job thus far of holding their home court advantage and taking advantage of that. They are consistent across the board. They've got a few players that dabble in NBL 1 and Youth League, so when those girls do come down, again, they are even harder to guard.
Yeah, fourth place in that final spot at the moment. We've got Ringwood sitting 6-4. They're just struggling to string wins together. They have a really good week, and then they probably struggle the next. They need to find that consistency if they want to hold that 4th position on the ladder or improve it. Steph Georgantis, she's been huge this season. She's certainly carrying the scoring and the rebounding load for the Hawks. They are tending to struggle away from home. Once they leave the nest, they've only got a 1-4 record, so they'll be wanting to tidy that up on the road.
Absolutely. Sandringham sitting 5th with a 6-5 record. 4 out of the last 5 games they've got wins. They're off a 3-game winning streak at the moment. Now, they have been in majority of the lower scoring games here, so they've been consistently tough battles. There's been a few blowouts here and there on both sides, but again, this is a team that's just going to make it very, very tough on either side, and it's going to be a low scoring game.
Yeah, speaking of a low-scoring team, we've got Waverley at 6th position, 4-6. They have only won 1 of their last 5, and they do struggle offensively. At the moment, across the league, they've got the lowest field goal percentage, but the most offensive rebounding. So at least they're cleaning up their mess a little bit. They just like to make a few more buckets. Liana King-Keller has been fantastic. She's been dominating points and rebounds consistently. They'll need her to keep doing that to keep progressing.
Absolutely. Quite a few starting 5s from here as well, which has been very impressive. Hume sitting 7th with the 1-9 record. Won their first win within their last 5 games. Their first win was over Knox, who was sitting just that 1 place below them. They've lost some massive key pieces since 2022. They had the MVP last year. They had a number of other players who were very dominant in this league, so they have been struggling offensively. They're going to look to sort of maybe rebuild a little bit or just start to develop some of these younger bodies as they come through in the second half of this season.
Yeah, for sure. And then we've got 8th place Knox, who's sitting 1-10, clearly going through a bit of a rebuild phase at the moment with a young core. Their only winners come back in round 2. So at the moment they're really struggling defensively. They just can't contain teams to this point of the season. And they do have the highest number of turnovers as well. So they'll look to try in the back end of the year, use it as a chance to turn some of those things around, tidy some of those things up.
Yeah, okay. Let's move on. We're in Watson now. We have Casey sitting first with a nice 7-2 record. Won 4 of their last 5. Very, very good defensively. Probably one of the best defensive teams. The lowest points per game average, though. Second best in 2s. So some interesting statistics going there. Some very, things that maybe not make sense or might not make sense. But again, they are sitting first at that 7-2 record, so they are looking good.
Right, and then second we got Kilsyth. Kilsyth with an 8-3 record. once again, they're struggling to get a consistency of a big run of wins together, though. They do have some great height and length amongst their squad, and they play at a whole range of different speeds. They're happy to slow it down and play the half court style, or they're happy to get out on the break. It's effectively pick your poison, Ted. In their games against their current conference, they are 5-1. So they're sitting pretty comfortable in that conference.
Yeah, absolutely, especially when our head-to-head comes in towards the end of the season. Altona sitting third with a 7-3 record, very high offensive rated team. They are the highest in that sort of statistic. They've got 30 points per game average off the bench as well, showing their sort of depth and ability, to have that spark off that first and second sub. They are also the lowest turnover team, so their efficiency is quite good, I guess.
Fourth place, Diamond Valley, 7-3 record. They're currently 5-1 in their conference. So once again, playing into that head-to-head, they're looking pretty good. They are a really long, athletic, lengthy sort of group, so which cause a whole lot of disruption on the defensive end. But they're strong across the board. I'd keep an eye on this Diamond Valley team, looking to keep going higher and higher in these rankings.
Yeah, absolutely. Dandenong now sitting in fifth with a 4-7 record. Just won the one out of their last 5 games, 3 and 4 at home. So they are struggling to get wins at home. Taylor has been very solid for Dandenong though. She's been in that state sort of area and teams for quite a while, so she is holding the fort for them.
Yeah, and then we got 6th place Nunawading, so 4-8 record at the moment. Unfortunately, not quite the finals team that you saw in 2022, the ones who just went down to Keilor in the grand final series there, but they're struggling at home. What a strange problem to have. They're 1-6 at home, but have got They have been able to get 3 wins on the road, which has been very, very helpful. Young Neve has been really solid. She contributes from all aspects of the game, and I think that's pushing Nunawading towards those wins.
Absolutely. Ballarat sitting 7th with a 1-8 record, just the 1 win out of their last 5. They are battling with numbers quite consistently. They're offensively struggling, so they do need to sort of get some consistency across the board. Gemma Moore, though, with a big future ahead of herself. She is sort of dabbling in that NBL1 team, so curious whether we'll see her consistently in the second half of the season.
Yeah, and then sitting in 8th place is Frankston with a 1-9 record. I'm sure their first year back up in VYC, they would have loved to have gone and fit in there seamlessly, but there have been their struggles, and it's due to a completely different roster. Really, there's not a whole heap of the same girls around. Young Felicity Hilford has been brilliant. I saw her play against Ballarat, where she led her team to a strong win. That's it. Thanks, Ted.
There we go. Catch you later, guys.